to another video. So this month, it's the month of April. It's one of my favorite months of the year because it's already summer. Another is it's my birthday month. And another reason to celebrate this month is it's letter writing month. So if you're not familiar with that yet, it's basically just about inspiring or encouraging people to keep on writing to your loved ones or to your friends, because writing or sending snail mails or just a simple card maybe, it really gives it really brightens up the day actually. So this month, it's just basically that, to inspire people to keep on writing, especially this pandemic, because we really need all the love that we can get and all the love that we can give. And writing letter is one way of showing that. And we don't know, like, if we send out letters, we might just make someone's day very happy or brings out sunshine maybe. So anyway, for the past few years, I was a bit active when it comes to letter writing. So I have a blog post about letter swap, or like I did few letter swap way back before. I also shared how to make your hand-drawn postcards. In this video, I want to share with you how to make your own letter set or stationery. So if you're a 90s baby, when I was young, I experienced so much fun when it comes to letter writing. So I like snail mail, sending out greeting cards or letters to my friends and family outside. And so before, stationery is quite expensive, but at least if you're a student. And in our case, stationery is really not that available in my city back then. So I think this really encourages me to make my own stationery. Plus, I have a godparent. I have a ninang in the States, and she's the one who encouraged me, or actually exposed me to letter writing, because she'd send cards and letters to me every now and then, and she'd send me beautiful stationery sets and stickers. So I guess that was the beginning of my love for stationery. And since I couldn't afford to buy those before, I was encouraged, or I guess I was pushed to make my own stationery. And so I didn't know, because of that, I ended up doing it as my own business, or like enjoying making stationery, not the way I used to. So anyway, I want to show you, back then, I can't remember, but few years ago, I attended this craft soiree. And so it was about making whatever that you are comfortable with, or just make whatever, craft anything you want. And then during that soiree, you're gonna exchange it with another person. So what I did was I made my own stationery kit, and this is the one that I gave out to so I made 10 of this and gave them out, and got another 10 in return. So this is the stationery kit that I made. So it's just a plain paper that I made into folder, and then added a collage, and then I added like a pocket, just so this is where to put all the stationeries. So I had a postcard, a letter set, something like this. So I'm showing this to you because this is the reason why I'm doing this video, because while I was brainstorming what to create for letter writing month, I saw this in my stash and remembered that I used to make my own stationery. I really like the feeling of that, aside from doing it digitally or professionally. So because of this, I was actually reminded how therapeutic and how happy it made me to make my own stationery. Plus, writing letter is already special enough, and if you make your own stationery, that's just super duper extra. Like if you're eating halo halo, that's like 2 ice creams on it. So anyway, I'm gonna show you the stationery projects that I will be sharing in this video. So this one, we're gonna make something like that, and then something like this as well, but this one has already a letter on it, and also this one. So I'm gonna share with you few ideas how to make your own stationery if you're not into computers. So this does not involve any computer techniques at all. This is different, quite different from the ones that I'm selling, because most of my stationeries in the shop are printed. So these are just basically handmade. So if you don't have computer, if you don't have a computer, a printer, don't worry, because we are not gonna need those. We're just gonna do this manually, just like old times. And so yeah, I hope you're gonna enjoy that simple DIY that I have for you today. Hello again. So I want to show you up close the handmade stationery that we're gonna make. As for the paper, these are only few of the samples that we're gonna make today, and these are the envelopes that we will also be making. Now before this, I want to show you the materials that we will be needing. So for the main material, you're just gonna need simple as your copy or print or bond paper, office supplies. I like using long size or legal size because it gives you more room. Plus, if you want to have this size, you can just fold it into half. I also like using cream or beige paper and textured ones. So as for this, I'm not sure if you can see it, but these are textured paper. You can find this in your local bookstore. If you can find a legal size or a long band paper, short band paper will do. The important thing here is you're gonna need you're just gonna use a thin paper, so you don't need thick one because you're gonna fold it in an envelope. Plus, if you're gonna write so many things inside, tendencies are you're gonna need extra sheets for your letters, so we don't need thick paper for this. So for the envelope, you have so many envelopes to choose from. You can have this size in different colors, or you can have the usual letter envelope size. Now this one is normally for greeting cards. However, we can just use this if this one is not available, or this one is also handy because it's already thick, and sometimes we don't really need the size of this one. Now with this kind, this is what we really use for letters or documents. You can also find a small size such as this, or a plain one. So I like using this because it really gives you a vintage feel compared to this one, but you can have whatever envelopes that you have from. I wouldn't recommend coin envelope though, or the color brown that's meant for small packaging. Well, technically it's called coin envelope. I wouldn't recommend that though, because if you want to send your letters in your local post office, I think that's not actually acceptable compared to this one. But we will talk about sending your mail or postage on my next video. In the meantime, what we're gonna focus on is more about making your own stationery. Now, aside from this, so these are your main materials that you need. If you don't have simple as band paper or anything, yellow pad, I love using yellow pad, or any pad paper that you have. Basically, your basic office supplies. Now, for our decorations, what we're gonna need are this. So, we'll be using punchers. I have different varieties, so like if you have different sizes for your circle, different shapes, that would be nice. If you have other shapes for punchers, that would also be useful. What I also love using, especially for the letters, for the writing paper, as you can see with this one, I like using edge puncher. So what we're looking for is this one, the edge puncher, because this will give you this will actually punch only the edge of the paper compared to the usual puncher like this one, like the circle ones or the other ones, because they will punch in the middle of the paper. So other than punchers, we will need rubber stamps. So I have this. I would suggest just get few of your stash, because you don't want to be overwhelmed with so many things. So these are my go-to rubber stamps. Of course, if we're gonna use stamps, we're gonna need ink pad. So I only have color black and this one for now, because I like to make it just simple and clean. And also, I like to use rubber stamps with letters. So what we're aiming here is, or if you have various stamps, what we're gonna need are just the letters. If you have the ones with maybe quotes or like a word, maybe like hello, just like this one, then that would be fine, or that's actually great. If you have something like how are you or get well soon, that will save you from lettering. But if you don't have stamps, you can just use markers, brush pens, or drawing pens. So yeah. What else? You will also be needing cutouts. So if you have stickers, die cuts, if you don't have rubber stamps that has phrases on it, then you can use die cuts if you have one, or stickers. So whatever die cuts or stickers that you have in your stash. So other than that, you're just gonna need scissors, glue, pen, and that's pretty much it, I think. So now that we have all our materials sorted, let's start making our handmade stationery. Okay, so let's start with your writing paper. So I like using this size, although this can fit here. However, the tendency is like you just have to fold it on the side. So first you have to consider which envelope you want to pair it with. So if you want to use this size or this kind of envelope, or this one, which is a bit bigger than the color brown, then you have to make sure your paper size also fits your envelope, just so to avoid folding on the side. Because technically, when you write or when you send or put a document in an envelope, you just fold it this way. So however, if that doesn't bother you, then you can just fold it on this side. So anyway, I want to use, normally I like using this paper. So basically, this will fit this size. And for this one, although this is really big, but it doesn't matter because it will also fit the envelope. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna get my legal or long bond paper. And then we're gonna fold it in half. This. Now you can use your trimmer, your manual cutter, but for now I'm just gonna use my scissors. So the trick here is, since your paper is what you're gonna need on to write your messages or your thoughts, I would suggest you make a lot of this one, just so in case you need extra, because I don't know if you've experienced it before, but when I was younger, I really like bartering stationery with my friends. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but basically it's like buying your own stationery, and in one pack you get at least 3 or 5 sets. So like you'll get probably 6 sheets of paper plus 3 envelopes, or 10 sheets of paper and 5 envelopes. And since you have a lot and then you wanna have different designs, and what we do is we barter 1 paper and 1 envelope, so it's basically 1 set, to a friend, and she's gonna give you same thing. So that's what we usually do before. So anyway, that's why you need extra paper, because, well, technically if you're gonna write more, then you're gonna end up needing more paper. So anyway, so this is the size that I wanted, and I want to use my puncher, edge puncher, for to cut the bottom part. So this is how you use this edge puncher. Just gonna use it just like your usual puncher, although this one stays on the table compared to this one that you can just hold it. So basically you're just gonna fit the paper here, the bottom line, or no, at the edge of this one, and then you just punch it out. So this one is really an old puncher, so I really need to double punch. Okay, so this will be your guide. So if part of your paper is already punched, then this will be your guide. All you have to do is just make sure they are aligned, and then you can just punch it again. There you go. Then just do the same thing until you reach the end of your paper. So anyway, you have to make sure that your paper is even, or when you're punching it, make sure that you're cutting on the next area where there's no punch yet. There you go. And the last one. All right, here I have one, and then I'm gonna combine the puncher and the rubber stamp. So I want to use this. Thank you. And with this ink pad. Okay. Then just stamp it in the middle, or wherever that pleases you. There you go. So apparently my ink pad is a bit light already. I kind of like that. So there you go. There's our one style writing paper. I'm gonna show you another one. So I'm gonna show you a different design. We're still doing the same thing but different design. So I have a different puncher design now. The previous one is more of a doily design like this, and now we're at I'm using like flower borders. Okay. Before I can use to punch with 2 papers with this one, but since my punchers are very old, I think it would be best to just use it with 1 paper. Okay, so just like a while ago, you're just gonna align the punch paper on your guide, on the guide here. So sometimes it's kind of tricky, just like right now. So I'm looking for, there you go, for this pattern. There. Now, one way to preserve your puncher's sharp blade, you can punch it with aluminum foil just after you use it. So pretty much about 5 or so punches, just so to keep it more sharp. So I used to do that before, but right now I'm getting lazy already, and this is what you get if you don't really take good care of your punchers. Okay, so here's one of our letter writing paper, and I like to use monograms. Now, if you noticed, I've been stamping my designs on the middle part of the letter of the paper. That's because if you're not really familiar with letter writing, this is where the part on your lower right, this is where you write your name. So basically, if you're gonna put a lot of things on this side, then you're just gonna lose more space for writing. So that's why I just like using the top part, and I just like using a very simple design, because the important part of writing, or the letter writing, is actually your message. So anyway, I'm gonna write, I like using letters. You can write your name, your nickname maybe. However, if you want to make it a bit formal, you can use your initials. So right now I'm actually confused what initial to write. Thing is, I've been married for 2 years now, but I'm still not really used using my husband's family name, although he doesn't really mind at all. And so anyway, I'm just gonna use my initials, my old initials then. Alright, this is really so random, and okay, my initials before are DASP. However, I just realized later on, since my family name has 2 words, it's San Pedro with 2 words. However, I realized after like just few years ago that even though you have 2 words with your family name, like if you're De La Cruz, De La Torres, San Pedro, you just use the first letter of your initials. But I'm not used to DAS, so I'm just gonna use this one. Right, so this is how I'm gonna do this. Right, this doesn't really have to be perfect, well, because it's handmade. Plus I really like the imperfect style. I don't know how you define that. So there you go. So these are the, let me just clean this up. Now I'm doing a different style of filming here. So instead of doing a voiceover, I'm winging it. So there you go. You can see these are white papers with textured ones, and then the ones that we used are the cream ones. Now you can also make or punch your paper on the side, maybe here or here, or you can do double, like one at the bottom and one at the top. But I really prefer a very simple stationery set, so that's why I'm just doing this one. So this is one of the style that you can make with your letter writing paper. Now I'm gonna show you another one that doesn't really use punchers and clear stamps. Okay, so if you want to make more designs for your stationery, here's another option. Or if you don't really have punchers or rubber stamps available with you, then I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you have a stock of stickers and die cuts maybe. So what we're gonna do is just get those stash, and then let's just use this as an accent. So if you like collecting stationery before, you know that the Korean or Chinese or Taiwanese stationery are just the cutest. Like they have this very cute illustrations with quotes that you're not sure what it meant. So we're trying to do that here. So if you have cute stickers, then you can just use them and then add a quote or a message maybe on the side. So here you go. Now again, I just like designing a very simple one. So this will do. And then I want to make something with a message. So these are die cuts. Die cuts that I got from some are digital and some are also available in your local bookstores. But if you still want to know more about digital elements, then you can just look for digital scrapbookings. So I want to use this and I want to make layers. Right. Now if you have something like this, or like small, if you want to use small ones, then you can just play with it. And if you've been watching, or if you've been following along, I like adding layers. Right, so as you can see, I'm leaving this space empty because that's where I'm gonna write my name. However, don't be restricted if you feel like adding a lot of anything. No, but the thing is, less is more, and we don't want to make your stationery look very chaotic. Okay, so I didn't have plan for this, so I'm just planning this now. Okay, so yeah, kind of like how that goes. So if let's say you have a greeting die cuts, like it says hello or probably happy birthday. Okay. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this video is a bit long. And I hope though not making you bored, and that this will inspire you actually to create your own stationery. So as you can see, if you don't have any letter writing materials at home right now. And of course, I wouldn't really advise you to go out just to buy this. But it only means that you can make your own stationery. And I really like doing this because not only writing letters is sweet enough or personal enough, but by making your own stationery as well just gives double impact, I guess. So there you go. I would really like to use curve puncher here, but the point here is if you don't have any punchers, I'm pretty sure you have a bond paper or any paper with you and stickers and die cuts, so you can also do this. All right, so we're done with the paper. I'm gonna show you the next one, how to make your own envelope. Okay, so now that we're done with the paper, let's make our envelopes. Now we want to make our stationery like a set. So if let's say I'm making this one, I want my envelope to look like they are a set as one, or they look the same. So you can either use a puncher. So if let's say with this one, since I use a doily puncher, then I'm just gonna punch the envelope with the same puncher design. Or you can also make like this one. Since I made an initial, then I'm gonna make my envelope with an initial too. So first, let's make the puncher. So it's the same thing with how we did it with the paper, except that we're gonna do this simpler because we're not gonna add a lot of things on our envelope. We just want to make it like they're a pair. Okay, so I'm gonna use the flower puncher. Now, one thing with the puncher too, they work best with a thicker paper. So like with this one, like with the envelope, since the envelope is a bit thicker than the writing paper, it's easier for me to punch. Also, since it's a writing letter month, do not forget to subscribe on my channel, because since it's a letter writing month, I'm gonna share with you different ways how to make your writing materials. So now we're making stationery, and then I have one for postcards and then greeting cards. So yeah, so there you go. So for this one, they are a set or pair, and with this I'm using this one. Okay, you can also use, right, since I don't have initials anymore, I'm just gonna show you how to make this. So if you decide to use something like this, because this one is too small, or you can just cut your paper also just to fit this one. So anyway, if you want to do something like this, this is how we're gonna do it. Now we're gonna use our circle puncher. I'm gonna punch the middle. So why are we doing this? Because actually you can also make your own envelope. However, it will really take longer. But so what I'm doing here is we're just buying ready-made envelopes. Plus, I really like using this document envelope, especially this one, because it just gives you the feeling of having like a pen pal. just like old times. Now, if you've experienced snail mail or like pen pals, please do share your experience with on the comment below, and if you're still doing it. Okay, so we're gonna need extra paper. I'm just using, okay, I'm gonna use the craft paper, this one, just to give an accent. And so for the envelope, I used a 1/2 inch circle. Now I'm using a 1 inch size because I'm gonna need a bigger circle to cover the small one. Right. Okay. So we're just gonna match that here. And then, okay, so we're try looking for something to match the envelope. There you go. I match my paper. So I'm gonna use this paper for this one. So I'm gonna get this stamp. Okay, so I hope this will actually fit. Okay, so this one is too big. This fits nicely. Okay, and so just gonna glue the side, and then just make sure it just fits your hole. There you go. Now what's nice about buying ready-made envelopes is that you don't really need to add adhesive to seal them because they have their own already. But do let me know if you want to learn how to make your own envelope, because we might just actually add that on our video. So there you go. So this one is a pair for this, and pretty much the same thing with the other envelopes. Okay, so that's the one using rubber stamps and punchers. Now we want to make a pair envelope for our collages. So pretty much the same thing with how we did with the rubber stamps or with the paper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pair or look for the same thicker die cuts or elements that I have, and just stick it on the envelope. Alright, so one thing about envelopes though, if you're not familiar yet, although I'm gonna film another video about this, when you write or when you send a letter through your post office, local post office, this is where you're gonna write the name of your recipient, and this is where you're gonna write your address. And this part is where you're gonna place the stamps. So why I'm saying this is because if you want to add extras on your envelope, just make sure to leave your important areas empty, because post office is quite strict when it comes to letters or documents maybe. So if you want to add something, so just make sure whether you're gonna leave this space empty or just make sure you're not putting so much that it actually covers your important details. So like let's say with this one, I want to use this envelope for this. since I'm using heart, I'm either gonna use it here or like a seal maybe, or I wanna put it here, or probably gonna look for more heart. Let's say I wanna put this heart here because this is where I'm gonna write my recipient's information, name and address. So this is where I'm gonna write the name and address, and then I'm gonna place this here. So this will serve like as my sticker seal. Double-sided tape will also is also handy when it comes to this, so you don't have to wait for the glue to dry. So this is for this one, and for this I want to use this envelope. I'm gonna stick this here because this is enough room for my name and address and enough room for the recipient's information. Alright, we're almost done. Okay. And this is where you're gonna put your stamp. So I also added extra here. So if you want to use something like that, you can use it for your name or address maybe. If you're gonna use it like something like this, but this one is really small, so maybe I can use it for my return address. And so there you go. That's our handmade stationery. So there you go. There's our envelope. So there you go. That's the handmade stationery. I hope you enjoyed that one. That was a bit long because I'm doing a different kind of video this time. So I hope you find this video okay. And even though it's quite long, I hope I didn't bore you. And more so, I really hope I inspire you to create your own stationery. Now, if you're not into making your own stationery, don't worry about it, because just use a simple yellow pad or any paper at all and just put it in an envelope and just send it to anyone, to your friends, to your loved ones, because handmade stationery, or the things that we just did a while ago, is just something for us to create or to express ourselves and just to to create something. But the point of letter writing month is not about being creative when it comes to your stationery or greeting card or postcard. It's not about that. It's more about sending letters to your loved ones. So if you're not into making, don't bother making anything at all. But I just hope that this video actually inspires you to write to someone, whether they lived outside your country, or it doesn't matter if they just live, whether they're your neighbor or maybe you live in the same house. My sister and I used to do that. So, and we just lived in the same house before. So yeah, that's the reason, or that's the main purpose of letter writing month. So don't be discouraged if you're not into crafting, not into making, if you don't feel like doing anything at all or being creative. But I just hope you'd write something to someone. So there you go. See you again on my next video. I have few more ideas, so maybe next time we're gonna make your handmade greeting card and postcards. And I want to talk more about postage stamps Philippine version, because I realize the younger ones right now that they are not quite familiar anymore how to use stamps. So I want to talk about that too. Now, if you have other ideas, or if you have questions, or maybe you want to know something else, about letter writing or anything, just leave a comment below, or you can email me, which I'm gonna leave in the description below, and I would really be happy to answer them for you. Now, I would love to do a letter swap again this month, but I'm not sure if I can still handle it, because few years ago I did a mail swap, and it's like, if you want to join, I'm gonna partner you with someone else, whether regardless what country you lived in. However, it ends up that some of the partners did not send their own letters, and I don't think I just have. I'm not sure if I have the time to follow up other people or arrange or organize the group. But let me think about it. Let's just see whatever goes, I guess. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for listening and watching me talking a lot this time. So yeah, I guess see you again on my next video, and please don't forget to like this video so other people can also see it, and hoping that they'd be interested to write letters as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because you will be notified on my next video. Bye!